What's wrong with you? I mean, it's all or nothing. At least I'm not fucking being fucking fake with it right now. You're fucking, oh my God. The D on your hat stands for dickhead right now, guys. I can't believe you.
Oh my God, my eyes.
God.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 37 of 40 Years, 40 Beers. As always, it's your host, Bob Bain and Joe Massey, here on another gloomy Friday because I don't know what's going on with this weather, cuz in Delaware County. It's 71 degrees one day, and it's freaking 35
40,
the next
30,
day.
40 the next, yeah.
I heard tomorrow morning it's going to be like 31 degrees.
Yeah, it's going down tonight. It's crazy.
It is. What's going on?
We have a couple things planned for this episode, right? But I wanted to, so I think it's like 25, 30 days from season 4 is coming back, right?
Less, like 20.
Yes. Okay. So we're both huge fans. The whole group chat, I think, is really into From. But you're rewatching, I don't know how far you got, but you're rewatching from the pilot again, right? Trying
Correct.
to lead up to. So, and you've mentioned to me a million times that you've noticed different things and you're relearning different things and stuff like that. So break it down for me. Where are you at relative to the season 3 finale, and what new stuff have you picked up?
So right now I'm on episode 4 of season 2.
Okay, season 2.
Okay, so I've gotten all through season 1, and it's amazing how if you just sit there and listen to what's going on now, right? Because now that you know what's happened up until the end of season 3, and we know that Tabitha and Jade are reincarnates of basically the parents who didn't give up their children, right? They were the ones who tried to save the children originally. It looks like in like the 1600s. All right?
You look at it through a different lens now that you know what you know. Yeah.
Yeah, you look at it through a different lens. Basically, do you remember the way that Tabitha and the family got there, right? So the way they got there is they got into a car accident with Jade and his best friend. Okay.
Right.
So 2 cars showed up on the same day. So, of course, the Matthews family, right? They have to stay in the RV overnight because the little boy, Ethan, is it Ethan? Yeah. Ethan has the thing through his leg. They can't get him out. Right. So now Julie and Tabitha have to go up to the house. They go to Colony House. And they don't know who they are, so they put them in handcuffs. You know, they separate them in different rooms. Well, Julie is sitting down in the kitchen, right, separated from her mom. And Victor comes down. And we know Victor was the first one there, right? We also know now that his mother is, well, Tabitha.
Mother.
His mother Tabitha is his mother reincarnated. Right? So he goes, I'm here for my peaches.
Didn't somebody look at the peaches in a later episode and say that they were rotten or they were like 60 years old and they should be rotten, but they weren't or something like that?
Possibly. I can't remember that. But
okay, go ahead.
I'm sure something like that might have happened. So he looks at the peaches. He's looking at her, and all of a sudden he's just like, you were in the car accident today. 2 cars got here today, he says, basically. And this is the way he's just like, you know how he is. He's like, so 2 cars got here today. That hasn't happened in a really long time. That's really special. And you're just like, holy shit. Then Christopher, okay? Remember Christopher. So Jade is the reincarnate of Christopher. Yeah, Christopher was the old guy, kind of big with the white hair, right? So the most recent memory I had of him was in season 3, all right? When they start talking about it, looking for the doll, the dummy.
The ventriloquist doll, yeah.
But in season 1, remember Jade finds the symbol? That's the first time he starts finding the symbol, right? Kenny's mom shows it to him in a book. And then because he starts seeing it everywhere. Well, in season 1, he has a vision of Christopher with the book opened, showing it to him. And I was like, oh my God, that's Chris. So they showed you who Christopher was already in season 1.
Really?
On Cooey Kids, the first time that Tabitha sees them, all right, she's basically scared to death because it's it's just like, oh my God, what is this? You know, she's staring at them. Nobody else can see them. But you realize if you really look at them, they're smiling at her. Like they're happy to see her. Like they know.
Is in
season 1.
Season 1.
Okay. It's almost like they're happy to see her. Like they know what goes on with the reincarnation, and they know that somebody's going to keep coming back to try to save them, and they know it's her.
Okay.
I noticed it twice when the kids are staring at her.
Wow.
They're actually like smiling and giving her like these lovable, So like they're telling you all these little things in all kinds of episodes.
Did you pick up anything more about getting thrown out of the lighthouse and then going back into the city or whatever again?
Not yet, because that's not till the end of season 2. That happens the last episode of season 2.
And
if you remember.
I forget, what about the weird little boy who pushed her out the window? What's up with him? I forget about
That's
him.
the boy in white. So all we really know about him so far is Victor used to play with him when he was a kid, and now we know that he communicates with Ethan, and he tries to help them. It's almost like he's the good versus evil in the forest, right? He represents the good, and what we know so far is that the man in yellow probably...
I was going to say, Curious George, the man in the yellow hat. Yeah, he's the bad version of the boy in white.
But here's what else I totally forgot about, right? So obviously the monsters are friggin' insane, out of their mind. They rip your guts out. Like every time somebody's killed, it's like they've literally ripped out every part of their insides and has their rib cage split open. So do you remember when Boyd went through the far away tree, right, with Sarah, when they were in the woods trying to see how far it went, this is like in the early season 1.
And the tent got drug all through the forest.
Correct. Right. So now they're trying to get out of the woods, and Boyd got bit by the spiders, that he stepped in. Yeah. So he goes through the far away tree and he ends up in like the chimney. All right. Well, he gets out of the chimney and he's talking to the guy who's chained there, who I'm still trying to figure out who that is. I think there's somebody who's reincarnated in the town who is this guy. All right. I actually think it's possible it might be Randall, but I also think Randall's the man in yellow.
I think the old man is Randall, because wasn't Randall was also shown shackled in the chains at one point.
So that's one theory I have, but hold on. Before we go on to that, let me finish what he says to Boyd. So the music starts playing in the music box, right? And he says to Boyd, they're on their way. They're coming here. They're here. Once the music...
Man says this to him.
Yes. Once the music stops, you have to get out of here before the music stops. And Boyd says, don't worry. We've already dealt with the monsters. I got them. And he looks at him and says, the monsters are just the tip of the iceberg.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So going back to Randall, yes, I think it's possible that's him. Randall's the reincarnation of him being the guy chained to the wall. But then, if you remember, we see the paintings, right? Is it Miranda? Is that what Victor's mom's name was? Miranda?
Yeah. And in the father's basement.
In the father's basement, we see the paintings that she drew or she painted, and the man in yellow is there depicted, and he's got a cut on his face, just like Randall.
Yeah.
So these are all things that I'm seeing, and I'm like, wait, are they telling you something here?
Do we know why they keep being reincarnated?
To come back and save the children.
Why can't fresh people show up ever?
Can't remember if they touched on that yet, but we'll find out. Because I don't think they have, dude, because if you think about it, in the finale of season 3, is when they just found out about the reincarnation, right? So they haven't asked questions why yet. They've just found out that's happening. Right. So now the questions start, right?
And what's up with the weird Japanese lady, and she's giving birth to a baby that already existed and all? What's that all about?
So she's not Japanese, first of all. I think she's more like Guatemalan. So she gave birth to, and that's to show them that they can't be killed. So if you remember Boyd to Smiley, right? He cuts himself and then puts his blood on Smiley, and he dies, right? So now they're like, oh my God, they can be killed somehow. What the hell was her name? It's Ellis's girlfriend or wife.
Oh,
Ellis's Boyd's
the one
son.
who was pregnant. Yeah.
What the hell's her name?
I forget.
So anyway, she has the baby, right? And you find out that it's Smiley being reborn.
Right.
So now that's the big holy shit moment is, all right, they can't be killed. They'll just be reborn by somebody, by somebody else will carry them. They'll be reborn into full size in 30 seconds after birth.
I remember realizing that when the finale hit. But so is that woman the one who, I guess, I don't know, not the conduit, but she's like the facilitator of all the rebirths?
No.
Well, only the monsters get reborn.
Only the monsters get reborn.
So how does everyone else get reincarnated?
They're just through their normal families. Victor Tabitha had a mom, or Miranda had a mom, Tabitha had a mom. She was just reborn. It wasn't like being reborn in Fromville where you come out in this cocoon, right? And then you're the Smiley monster full grown again.
But that's the difference though. They're being reborn inside from Bill. Everyone else is being reborn outside and
then coming back later. Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Correct.
So that stuff in season 1 is interesting. What else have you seen in season 2 so far?
Well, season 2 is still new. Like you know how each season always starts off slow, right? The bus is there now. You know, you have the second group of people have come.
Right.
And that's pretty much it, to be honest. But what I don't understand is it's interesting that Elgin had the dream about something bad was going to happen in a town and they couldn't be there. And then he gets up and opens his eyes and he's like, no, we can't stop here. Like he's been there before.
Yeah.
And you have the doctor, I forget what her name is, but it just so happens that her fiance is on the bus.
Did we learn anything new about Boyd's wife or the priest?
No. So Boyd's wife just went nuts, if you remember. She thought it was all a dream. And she shot
Boyd
people.
And his son and his wife are reincarnation. And we don't know that yet.
We don't even know if they are. They could just be.
So wait. So not every monster who's there is a reincarnation?
I don't believe so.
Really?
Yeah, I believe there's certain people who were just there. And I could be wrong. I mean, this is just what I believe.
And we think what's the name definitely got killed by the man in yellow at the end of the finale of season 3.
He's dead. Now, he's in 3 episodes of season 4.
How do you know that?
IMDb.
Well, probably as flashbacks, or he's probably in the opener because he's still bleeding out.
Well, remember, we know about time travel now, right?
Yeah.
Because of Julie. So that's going to be introduced. Here's the other thing.
This is so crazy.
There's this one scene, right? So Tabitha is digging in season 1. She's digging in the basement. All right.
Oh, to try and find the cords, the electrical cords for the phone and all?
Yeah, to try to find anything, basically. And next thing you know, I guess I'll call it a hallucination or whatever the hell it is. But now she's in like this spiral staircase with a tower. And as she's walking up the spiral steps, you see this piece of wood behind her. And there's all these years on them, like 1610, 1730. 17 set, and they're written in like chalk. So I'm wondering, what the hell is that? Is that like when each new cycle started with new people? Or
didn't we find out from what's his name that the numbers were musical note patterns?
No. Yeah, but these are different. Like this is like you can see clearly these are years. You know what I mean? So that's another thing I noticed. I picked that up.
What year do we believe it's in when the pilot opens?
I think it's present day.
Really?
Yeah. So it was 3 years ago, like 2023. I think it's present day.
I don't remember seeing any smartphones.
No, there is a smartphone because if you remember, when the bus gets there, it's season 2. And it's the first time they realize that the monsters have like not emotions is the word I'm looking for. So
conscience?
No, not even conscience. So the whole time in season 1, the monsters saw you, they ripped you apart, you were dead. Well, don't you remember in season 2, they brought the one girl out into the woods and stuck the pole through her head and put her against a tree and left her alive?
Yeah.
It was the first time they saw about like torture or torment. The way Kenny and Ellis found her was her phone started going off. And when they go over there and it's sitting on her lap and it's a smartphone, it's an iPhone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I forgot about her. The chick at the tree. She was sitting down with the thing through her head. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Boyd came up and just pulled it out of her head so she would die.
So what are you thinking? Do you have any more? Do you think differently about how season 4 is going to go now with this new information?
I think season 4 is going to show us a lot about Julie. I think Julie's going to be the main character of season 4. I think it goes back to when Ethan and her were in the diner and he kept talking about how she's a story walker. But if you
Yeah.
But if you remember, he basically said, listen, you can walk and go to different parts of the story, but you can't change anything. Once the story's been written, it's been written.
So that's referring to the time travel piece. You can't alter, because that's one of the things they say. Like you go back, you make a change, and now everything else is different. But
the butterfly effect.
Yeah. Right. But he's saying, at least she, maybe not everyone, but at least she doesn't have the ability to do that.
Well, it sounds like from me when they're having that conversation that he's saying nobody does.
Okay.
Because remember how he always refers to everything as a quest, right? And a journey. He's like, I think we're on a quest. I think he reads books. So that's probably where he's getting a lot of this information from. He's like, oh my God, you're a story walker. You can do this. But always remember, once the page has been written, it can't be rewritten. And I think that's what's going on at the end of season 3. I think she's trying to go and save her father from being killed. And she's going to realize she can't. No matter what she does, she can't rewrite that story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think when you're in the heat of that moment and she's, like that's one of the worst things that can happen to a kid. She's not remembering that, but it's interesting that you caught it because I think that's why she wasn't able to do anything so far. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We already saw her travel.
Oh yeah, we saw her a few times.
Right.
I mean, listen, if you remember, she's the one who dropped the rope down for Boyd.
Yeah.
When he was stuck in the thing. I don't even think she knew it.
She was in chains and shackles along with Randy and another girl, wasn't she?
It was her. It was Randall. And
what's the name's girlfriend?
Fiance. Yeah, the girlfriend, the doctor's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, the three of them. They got attacked by like the locusts.
It's so nuts. We were making that greatest TV deaths video, and one of them was Not Penny's Boat, and I started thinking about like the people who made Lost are making From, right?
Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot of...
I don't know if they're the writers but they have a hand. They're producing it, whatever.
We said this in the very beginning. Like there are definitely some similarities for sure.
There are. I mean, Harold Perennial, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was Michael in Lost, and now he's Boyd in this.
Well, but not the actors. I'm talking about like the actual, like the supernatural element to it, right? Like, we got like 20 days left because I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Now,
and they drop. You could watch them the minute you wake up. They're on MGM. You don't have to wait till late at night. You know what I'm saying? That's the best part. Yeah.
No, it's awesome.
You can knock one of them out over a cup of coffee before everybody wakes up.
Now, one thing I'm thinking is, and I'm not going to be able to do this, so I wait for like 3 or 4 episodes to pile up. And then...
That's how Uncle Dave gets down. He loves to... You know what he does? He'll rewatch the previous episode before the new episode of everything.
That's what you were saying. I remember you saying that.
I don't have enough time for that. But you can't wait.
And dude, what's funny is,
talk about it.
If you remember, I was the first one who came across this show. I was like going through.
Yeah, I came in late.
I was like toggling through, and I'm like, "From what the hell is this?" And then it had 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. I was like, if they have it, I was like, Rotten Tomatoes don't lie. Some of those people are ruthless in those reviews.
That was the beautiful thing about coming in late. I was able to do all of the first 2 seasons binge watch. And then I was like, I rolled right into season 3. But season 3, I had to watch in real time.
Dude, I got to tell you this. So a buddy of mine is going to Disney World on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's got 4 or 5 kids. I can't remember. So he's telling me, I was like, oh, dude, it's not a vacation. Just so you know, like Disney World is not a vacation.
Not if they're young.
It is.
If they're in college, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's friggin' work. It is a ton of work. And he was like, I know, we go all the time. He's like, I have to be running around on vacation. I can't be like going to the Outer Banks and sitting on the beach all day. And I'm like, oh, dude, I can do that for 7 days straight with no problem. So it got me thinking, do you remember when we were kids, right, on Sundays? Disney used to have this thing called The Wonderful World of Disney.
Yes. Yeah.
And there were all kinds of, like, if I remember, like, sometimes they were series, right? Like, you'd have like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks where it was like the same thing.
Yeah.
Or they'd have movies. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Isn't that the first time we saw like the Return to Oz?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Return to Oz, TikTok, and Fairuza Balk, right? Or whatever the hell her name is. Fairuza Balk.
Jack O'Lantern or something like that.
Yeah. And Oz is all fucked up.
Yeah.
They come back and like the Wheelers. Is that what they were called?
The Wheelers. Yeah.
The Wheelers, the Wheelies.
That version of the monkeys. Correct. Yeah.
Dude, I remember seeing that as a kid because that was probably like, God, was that like 1986, 1987?
It was a little creepy, dog. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Why is the Yellow Brick Road all fucked up?
I would think young kids would get scared by the original monkeys and maybe the original Wicked Witch, but like it was way more Tim Burton-ish, like way darker than the original was, for sure.
It was. I wonder if it was a Tim Burton.
I don't know. Let's look that up.
I want to see what year it was too. It's 1985. Director was Walter Murch. And this was actually, it was adapted. I mean, it's from a book. Frank Baum wrote a story basically.
Right. Yeah.
And it's from The Marvelous Land of Oz.
I mean, I loved it. I thought it was a great, like, as a kid, you think it's part 2, right? I mean, it's got the word return in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I loved it.
Well, if you remember, the Scarecrow was back in it, right? Toto was in it.
The Scarecrow is the king.
So Well,
at the
no.
end.
So he becomes the king, but
Right.
their fight, the villain, so to speak, isn't the wizard like it was in the original. It's like
Correct.
the gnome king or something
Yeah.
like that. I just remember
They're
I
flying on the bed with like a moose head or something, weren't they?
I don't remember that. The only movie I remember as a kid, Disney movie, and I don't even know if this is part of the Wonderful World of Disney or Wide World of Disney, whatever. I think it had multiple names actually.
Yeah.
The franchise was Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. That's the only time I remember them
with
flying
Angela
on a bed.
Lansbury. Bed Knobs and Broomsticks was a classic.
Dude, that was my shit. Cause
Yeah.
what was the something commotion or something? They had some kind of spell they had to get.
And
Dude, what was crazy
that
is
was crazy.
all these movies back then, the Disney movies, they always were like around World War II. You know, like
was that one of the first times a human was with a cartoon? It couldn't have been.
I don't know. That's an interesting question. I mean, that was a huge part of my growing up was Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. I loved that.
The Return, Pete Dragon. When you talk about cartoon and humans, Pete Dragon was another big one.
Pete Dragon was awesome. It's funny. I was like, you think it's Puff the Magic Dragon, but that was just a song.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, Pete's Dragon was awesome.
What else? Like, I don't know if like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids series or the franchise rather. I think they're part of it too, right?
So
they were definitely
that was a part of it. Well, there were also these shows, right? Like Mr. Boogity. Dude, you got to bring up Mr. Boogity. Bring it up.
Mr. Boogity.
You got to bring it up. Like, it's so awful, but when you were a kid, like, it was kind of, I don't know, the character kind of scared you a little bit, but he's not scary at all. Wait till you see this. You're going to be like, I can't believe you never saw Mr. Boogity. And Bride of Boogity?
No.
Bride of Boogity was fantastic.
What is this? Cuz
it's Mr. Boogity.
Where's he at?
Hold on. He's this green guy. Where is he? Here he comes. There he is.
It was a series?
It's a movie. There's two of them. Look at him. There he is. There's Mr. Boogity.
Oh, I remember that guy. I remember that guy from like old school.
Isn't that crazy? This was a Disney movie.
Bud Bundy?
No, that wasn't. Well, yeah, it is. It is.
The little kid? Yeah.
David Faustino. Yeah, he is in it. Is that not amazing? Look at this.
God, bro.
Yep.
That's hysterical.
That is hysterical. I love this.
I guess the Bride of Boogity is when he gets married.
The Bride of Boogity is when he gets married. You have, what else? What else was on the Wonderful World of Disney? Dude,
my mom loved, I think this was Disney, Wonderful World of Disney. My mom loved The Halloween That Almost Wasn't. It's a Halloween movie it was on Disney. And there were a lot of famous people Judd Hirsch from Taxi was Dracula. There were a lot of famous people who did like the werewolf and the Bride of Frankenstein and all the different characters. And I'm pretty sure Fairuza Balk was the girl in that one too. Let me look that up real quick.
What the hell is this?
It was crazy. Man, it may not have been Fairuza Balk. So Frankenstein.
Oh my God, the things they used to put out that we used to watch. This looks awful.
It was awful. Look at that bat. Look at that bat. Look at the werewolf. It's kind of like had Monster Squad vibes. But much cheesier and for a younger audience.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, but every Halloween, my mom and I used to watch this.
My whole Disney movie experience, for the most part, was with the Wide World of Disney. Like, even if it was not Lady and the Tramp, even if it was like Bambi, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. Like
Fox and the Hound.
Like all of that stuff I pretty much saw on Sunday nights when the Wonderful World of Disney was on.
Oliver and Company.
Journey and Natty Gann. All that stuff. You know, which is one of the few that wasn't animated. You know, so you got like Mr. Boogity wasn't animated. The Journey and Natty Gann wasn't animated. The one we just saw.
Wasn't there one with a Corey Haim Feldman? There was something.
It wasn't Corey Haim. It was Not Quite Human. Is that the one you mean?
Yeah.
It was Alan Thicke was the dad.
Oh,
and I forget the kid who was in it. Like, he was in a lot of 80s movies. Like, I feel like he was in like The Boy Who Could Fly, that movie.
Okay. Yeah.
And then like, you know, he never really acted past his teenage years.
Past the age, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, Little Mermaid, they all came. 101 Dalmatians, they all came.
See, but those were. I think Little Mermaid was in the movie theater.
Yeah, but it was still a Disney movie in the 80s.
Yeah, you know, and
you're saying what made it Wonderful World was because it was straight to television.
Well, no, I mean, because again, I'm sure Cinderella or whatever was shown on the big screen.
Yeah,
right,
like I think
came out. So
they pushed them on Sunday nights after the theater run was over, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was just a handful that were originals. We'll call, ABC, right. Wonderful World of Disney originals.
Like Boogity and the Halloween that almost wasn't. I don't know if Return to Oz was exclusive, but...
No, I'm pretty sure that was released in
Little
theaters.
Mermaid's at the top of the list. I hear you. That's not in the same category.
Yeah, it was released in theaters because it's funny, it had a budget of $28 million and a box office of $11.1 million. That's a loss.
Return?
That's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a cult
classic now. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look at that.
Ran, dominate, whatever you want to call it. They ran Sunday nights for a long time, Disney.
So, but did they? All right. Did they run Sunday nights? Dude.
Prove me wrong. I mean, they didn't.
I used to get nauseous, all right, when I heard this sound on Sunday nights. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
The 60 minutes clock. My dad would always watch it. What that friggin' meant, weekend was over. The weekend was over. 60 minutes ruled Sunday night for 50 years.
That made you aggravated or upset. That wasn't a good part of the weekend.
No, and here's what's crazy. Now I find myself watching it. I've literally turned into my father.
I'm not a big 60 Minutes guy, but yeah, I mean, that sound is, anybody our age, that sound is unforgettable and
it's iconic.
And something that you instantly know what that is, and once you hear it, for sure.
Talk about the Sunday scaries, dude. Before I, took care of my anxiety, when I was watching 60 Minutes as an adult, I would start to get the Sunday scaries. I'm like, shit, here, 60 Minutes is going back to work tomorrow. It has the same
meaning, right? The weekend's over. Doesn't matter how old you are. You know what I mean?
No, it does. Listen, it makes me wish I could go back to friggin' playing with toys every day. I wish I had a chance to play with toys every day. Remember that? Remember playing with toys, just not having a care in the world?
I remember, like the little plastic pools.
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So we had one of them, like with
the wall was only about 6 inches off the ground.
We had one of them with a slide on it, and it was in the corner of our rec room in the basement when, like in the winter and stuff like that. And we had that filled with wrestlers and Ninja Turtles and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? One of our questions was favorite action figure, but for me, it was He-Man, hands down.
He-Man was your favorite toy?
Skeletor.
As a kid?
Yeah. Orko, the whole She-Ra, the whole Castle Grayskull was my shit.
There's a new He-Man movie coming out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it looks crazy.
It better be better than Masters of the Universe. As much as I'm an 80s kid.
Dolph Lundgren, he didn't do a bad job. I mean, with the technology and stuff that they had, I don't hate that.
He wasn't Ivan Drago in that one, but he wasn't. And Courtney Cox was in it.
Who?
Courtney Cox, cuz from Friends.
Oh, yeah. I just saw Scream 7, by the way. Kevin Smith did, I think, 1 or 2 seasons. He directed He-Man on Netflix. There's a cartoon, a remake cartoon version.
I heard it's great.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
It's wild. I think it's awesome. Yeah.
I'm going to have to try it. I'm trying to think, what was when I got it? I was like, it can't be a video game. We're talking
Cabbage Patch Dolls.
Yeah, I did. I loved my cabbage. I had a whole tea set up. We'd have tea every day at 4:00. I think
Care Bears.
Whoa! Don't sleep on Care Bears. I used to watch that when I was a kid.
Yeah, the cartoon was a classic. I never had the toys, but I watched the cartoon.
Come on. We remember the movie with the Dark Heart. They had the Care cousins. They were away at the camp. Come on, you don't act like you don't know about the camp. You had the Care Bear call, and then you had the cousins, the something stare. They had a stare and a call.
Yeah,
I don't know
the lion and all. I remember that.
Yeah, and they had to go after Dark Heart.
That's hysterical.
That is hysterical. Dark Heart. I can't believe I'm talking about that. I think it might have been, I was probably 5 years old maybe. And all right, I got a Lino Thundercats claw, belt with the sword holder. Right, you can hold the sword. That's number 1. 1A is when I got my first Voltron. Where you had to you actually could take them apart and then assemble them into Voltron, and then they became their individual characters. That was awesome. I played with that all the time. I mean, I loved the Thundercats show. I don't know if I had, maybe Panthro. I don't know if I had any of the actual toys for Thundercats. But so G.I. Joe's a strong number 2. Did I tell you how angry I was? So going through the rabbit hole, I was looking up Thundercat stuff one time, and then all of a sudden, a week or 2 later, this live action trailer comes up.
Oh, with Vin Diesel.
And I'm just
that's not true, cuz.
I was so excited. And then, of course, I didn't read the whole thing. And it's concept trailer. I almost threw my phone across the wall, into the wall. I was so angry
I wish that version would get made. That existed long before AI was even a thing. So I don't know who did that, but they did a fantastic job.
Did you know there's a live action Voltron being made?
Really?
Yeah, James Carville.
I mean, after what's his name? Michael Bay. He did a great job. Like technology-wise and visually, the Transformers and the Autobots and the Decepticons themselves. Like not the movie or Marky Mark, none of that shit.
But the way they transform. And no, I totally agree.
They did a phenomenal job with that. The technology is there for Voltron to be great right now.
Oh, I agree. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. It's going to be phenomenal.
But
so those are
Joe,
my two favorite.
G.I. Joe was a strong... Like if you're going to do the top 5 or something like that, G.I. Joe was up there for sure. Like Snake and Cobra Commander and all those cats. Like, you did G.I. Joe?
I did G.I. Joe. I did that. I also did the WWE guys with the wrestling ring. Did you have the wrestling ring?
I had the ring. What about the buddies? Did you have wrestling buddies?
Damn right, dude.
Yeah, they were the best.
Kids used to sleep over at my house and we'd have freaking wrestling matches.
Yeah.
They were awesome. I had Macho Man. I had Hogan.
Did you have Ultimate Warrior? Did you have weird leftover shit from your brother because he was so much older?
No, not at all. No, the stuff my brother and sister had, I mean, wouldn't have translated. My sister, I mean, shit, dude, they were playing with toys in the early to mid 70s.
But I mean, like, what did your mom threw them out? They weren't there when you got old enough?
No, maybe she gave them to somebody else. Who knows? I have no idea.
I thought that would have been cool to see, like, what a decade and a half later, what they had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I have no idea. I have no clue.
Because we're talking about, this is 80s, right? This is all 80s toys.
I mean, you figure, I was done with toys by the time I was like 6, 7. I just didn't, I started, like, I went outside and played base. Like, I was running around by that time.
I mean, I was I did it a little longer than that.
Man, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe 7, 8. I can't,
But see, I was the oldest. You had an older brother. That's much different. Yeah.
No, exactly. And that's funny. We noticed that with Chippy. Like, dude, Chippy was done with toys by the time he was like 4 years old. At 5 years old.
Not Christian. See, the opposite of like my older brother's not playing with toys, so let me do what he's doing is for Rocco, he left all the toys behind for Christian. You know what I mean? So like he had tons of cool stuff to like just jump right into.
Yeah, like I remember when Chippy was 5 for Christmas, we got his Christmas list and it was like, I want this football jersey, this basketball jersey, this baseball. So I was like, man, I guess he's done.
What about, I think He-Man's at the top of my list, but in terms of like the most, it would be wrestling, action figures, and Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtles, they kept coming out with so many different flavors, like so many different like lines, sub-lines of different types of turtles. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The big eye that Crane lives in. I remember putting that together for Beans one year.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I had a few Ninja Turtles. Like I had the action figures, but I never had like the lair. Now my kids did. My kids had the whole lair, the van, all that stuff. And we played with them all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Ninja Turtles are a staple, right?
Now, I was never into Star Wars. I still haven't seen completely the original 3 from start to finish. But did you have Star Wars toys?
No. I didn't even, I never even saw Star Wars, same thing, until I was probably like the first time I really saw it. Dude, believe it or not, and like really understood it. No, I mean, I think I was like 15.
Okay. Yeah.
When I watched all of them and like really understood what was going on.
What was it for the girls though, right? Like, so the girls had.
Well, hold on. Besides that, what about games?
You mean board games?
Yeah. What games do you remember growing up?
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap is the greatest game ever.
Mousetrap. There was one. I don't think it was Looney Tunes related, but there was one with a like some sort of Tasmanian devil, and you would spin him at the top, and he would like come down the mountain.
What was the one?
Of course, like Monopoly. That was like a family thing. We still play Monopoly and Uno sometimes.
What was the one game that had like, I felt like it was like a ball would come out and there was a volcano?
Marble? No. Yeah. That's not Mousetrap?
No, it was not Mousetrap. Popular 80s.
Trap Door?
No. What the hell was it called? Fireball Island? But that was cool. I liked Fireball Island a lot.
Tornado Rex is the one I was thinking of with the Tasmanian devil.
Okay. All right. I got that. I get where you're going there.
Yeah.
All right. But what was the other one? Guess Who?
Yeah.
Guess Who you played all the time? Yeah, Monopoly. That Monopoly was a staple. I think the biggest ones that I remember, I couldn't remember the name, but Fireball Island and Mousetrap, in my opinion, were the 2 best board games.
Yeah, Mousetrap is. What about Operation?
Well, Operation was the shit.
Operation was at the top of the list. What else? Bedbugs?
What was Bedbugs? I remember that game.
With the chopsticks?
That's it. That's it. Give me a second.
You literally had to pick up bugs from the bed. The Forbidden Bridge.
I never played that.
The Forbidden Bridge is a classic, Bo.
Because do you know what? Hold on. Do you know what my wife used to play with her brother?
What?
Pretty Pretty Princess. And she used to call it Pretty Pretty Prince and would dress him up.
Oh, my God. What's the one? Jenga?
Jenga, yeah. But I mean, I don't think I played that when I was like 5.
Candyland?
Candyland. Oh, that's a staple. How do we not?
Candyland.
Woo! Shoots and ladders.
What's the one? Battleship.
Battleship. Shoots and ladders.
Battleship is still shoots and ladders. Yeah. Does Light Bright count as?
I think Light Bright's
game?
more. I think that's very that's like 2-3-year-old toy, right? Like maybe 4.
You never had a Light Bright?
I had a Light Bright probably when I was like 4.
I don't think it's that young, cuz. Come on.
I think so. Well, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe not because of the choking hazards. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is a little bit older. But were our parents thinking about choking hazards? I mean, I don't know.
What's the other John? So speaking of the chopsticks, what's the other John? It was like Jenga, but you pulled out like sticks.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. And the ball would fall or whatever.
Oh, Kerplunk. Kerplunk was one of them.
What was the other one where you had the ice? Where you had the
Don't break the ice. Yeah. Hold on, cuz Mr. Boogity made me think, I don't know what it's called. It was definitely a board game. And Nightmare.
Yeah, I don't remember Nightmare.
Yeah. I used to play this at Stephen and Michael Maraglia's house when we were kids. Hold on. Let me show you the commercial. Look at this, cuz.
What the hell?
It was a board game that came with a VHS tape. And you would play the tape. And the minute you press play, you would start the game. And the game was timed with the tape. So the closer you got towards the end of the game, the scarier and older this man got. And it was called Nightmare. Uh-huh. And the more you progressed, the scarier and older and crazier he would get. And the clock would count down. It was an hour long. Nightmare was a classic. You shut off all the lights, you know what I'm saying? We couldn't wait to go over there and play that. And then we never got into it, like our age group, but I'm pretty sure they had 3 games like in that franchise that came with 3 VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Speaking of VHS tapes, what about like Teddy Ruxpin?
Teddy Ruxpin.
I was big on Teddy Ruxpin because I used to watch. I still have them. I watched them from time to time. I tried to get the kids into it, but they weren't crazy about it. Teddy Ruxpin has a cartoon series, like several seasons. It was fantastic with Grubby and I forget the old man's name. Teddy Ruxpin, the toy though, like this is way before the cartoon series. The toy, I couldn't wait. The toy was like unbelievable. And My Pet Monster,
the damn cassette tape. You always lost
I did. Yeah. Immediately lost the cassette tape. Did you have a My Pet Monster?
Damn right, with the cuff.
Yeah,
it was broken.
The orange cuffs. Yeah. And then they were like. There was a whole series of monsters. There was like a girl one. It was a little one. It was a bigger one. He also had a television series, My Pet Monster. Yeah, I think that's when things started to get a little more creative, like the board game that had a VHS play along or cassette tape inside of the toy or, like you could break the monster's chains apart and stuff like that. Like they, the 80s had so many dope toys and board games and movies and TV shows. It was unbelievable.
No, dude, it was great. Well, also, it was something you were into, right? When you're a kid, it doesn't take much to entertain you.
Yeah, no, not at all. And like, it's different now. A toy like Teddy Ruxpin or My Pet Monster, no matter how dope it is, it can't compete with the iPad. So like, I'm interested to see, that's what Toy Story 5 is about. All the toys, you know how like in Toy Story 1, it was Woody was concerned about Buzz. And then, they progress. And then like in 3, they were switching to a different kid, right? Mm-hmm. They were going from Andy to Bonnie. And then, but in 5, Bonnie gets an iPad and the kids, the toys are all worked up that she's going to forget about them for the iPad. Like that was the thing for us. You didn't have anything else but to put that cassette tape in Teddy Ruxpin and hit play for the next hour or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing else to occupy yourself if you couldn't go outside.
So remember the coolest thing that ever came out was it called the Talk Boy that was on Home Alone 2 where he could record himself and then slow it down so he sounded like it was his dad?
Yeah.
Remember when that
Keep the change,
out?
You filthy animal. Yeah.
No. He was like, I'd like an extra large room, please. With a king-size bed.
Was the Chucky doll ever released in stores?
I don't remember. I don't know anybody who ever had one. I'm sure it was. So. I'm sure it was. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't the studio capitalize off that?
I feel like boys had way better shit in the 80s than girls. What did the girls have? Not Little Red Riding Hood. Barbie and My Little Pony.
My Little Pony, Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah, I guess Cabbage Patch Kids. But they had boys too. But that's a girl thing.
I mean, I wasn't playing with them. I don't know any boys were playing with Cabbage Patch Kids.
Were the Care Bears the boy version of My Little Pony? Or was Care Bears also girls?
I think Care Bears was also girls. I didn't mind the cartoons until I was, I went up, I was like 6, 7 years old, and I stopped watching it, obviously.
Right. But I never had the toy. Same. I watched the cartoon and the movie, but I never had a bear toy. But we had so many better shit than that's it. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're still making Barbies to this day, but.
Oh, absolutely.
Barbie was a smash hit. Like, she could carry the female line for sure, but like we had way more options than the girls did.
Well, here's the thing. The girls had limited brands, right? So to speak. Like, yeah, you had the three. You had My Little Pony, you had Barbie, you had Cabbage Patch Kids, but they all had a ridiculous amount of accessories.
Yeah. And
right.
Barbie and My Little Pony are still active today. They had a huge run.
Yeah. Like it was almost like the Ninja Turtles for boys, right? So you got the Ninja Turtles, then you had to get the lair, then you had to get the house, then you had to get the sewers, then you had all that stuff.
He-Man was always, and the Turtles had movies. The Turtles movies and cartoon were far better than anything He-Man or G.I. Joe. I don't know. I think the G.I. Joe cartoon was dope, but I definitely think if you're comparing cartoons that came from toys, Ninja Turtles takes the cake for boys.
So I actually just remembered I had a Castle Grayskull as well.
Yeah. Castle Grayskull was the shit, dog.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah, I think, the girls had a stronger run. My Little Pony, I remember Julia's 14. I remember when she was a kid, we were watching My Little Pony. Like,
absolutely.
It was... Yeah. No, but like new shit. It wasn't like I was making her watch old stuff from the 80s. My Little Pony and Barbie are still active today. Who was the broad that just did the movie?
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Margot Robbie is a great Barbie. Yeah, I love every time I look at Margot Robbie, I just go, I don't care what part you're playing. All I see is in Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah. When they're sitting down on the rug in that room.
Stop it.
When, were there 2 Barbie movies with her?
Well, there might be. I don't know. I didn't even see the first one, cuz.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. What about,
so you think Ninja Turtles? You think Ninja Turtles was the best cartoon based off of action figures?
He-Man doesn't come close. Maybe G.I. Joe can compete, but they don't come close.
What came first, the cartoon or the action figures?
For who?
Both.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Hold on, I got you.
But my opinion is Turtles had the best cartoon.
I'm curious. The action figures and cartoons were launched together, but the toys technically came first by a tiny margin. Interesting. Okay, ready? What was released first, the He-Man action figure or the He-Man TV series?
Had to be the action figure on that one.
The action figures came first.
Yeah.
Mattel launched the He-Man action figure, Masters of the Universe, in 1982. Toon came out in 1983.
What about G.I. Joe?
G.I. Joe was the action figures, no doubt. G.I. Joe, what came first, the cartoon or the toys? The toys by a long shot. G.I. Joe action figure was introduced in 1964. It was the first of its kind. 1982 was the revamped toy line. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. 83, first animated series. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
That's nuts. When you think about the opposite, though, like pretty much every movie spawned a toy, right? Like you think about like Ghostbusters, Slimer. Come on, cuz their car, Slimer. The John they suck up the ghost in?
The Trap.
Yeah, there was a toy version of that released in stores.
What are you talking about? I had it. I had that in a Proton pack.
Toys R Us and Kitty City, cuz. Yo, there's that Toys R Us came back. Toys R Us came back. It's in the King of Prussia Mall, but it's horrible. Me, Rocco, and Christian walked in there the other day. It's like a giant magazine stand. On the shelves, instead of magazines, are like these weird toys. It's not like a OG Kitty City. It's Toys R Us, rather. They're just using the name.
Yeah,
it's
Kitty
weird.
City. I remember going down to Kitty City on Oregon Avenue, and it was like the greatest day of my life whenever
my God.
It was awesome. And I remember
when you saw that kangaroo or whatever the fuck he was, that giraffe.
I don't know if it was just because I was such a little kid, but I feel like the ceilings and everything and the shelves went high as friggin' could be. Like, I just feel like the whole warehouse or whatever it was, the store in general was just gigantic.
What about Hot Wheels and Matchbox? Were they part of the toys?
Yeah, the Hot Wheels tracks. Holy shit. How about when you finally figured out you could go upside down?
Yeah.
When they came out with the loops. And it never friggin' worked. The car always fucking fell off.
That's another... Hot Wheels are still around today.
Hot Wheels are cool. I remember the cool thing was when you had like the car, like the button cars on the track.
Yeah.
You would have to slow down and then go around. You know what I mean? That was really cool.
You had that little tiny controller on the wire. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. It kind of reminded me what the hell? Was that at the zoo? What was the place, or maybe that was Clementon Park? Where could you go when they had the boats on the water and the wheels were around the side of the lake and you could drive to...
Yeah.
Where was that?
I think it was Clementon Park.
I can't remember.
That's a great episode segment. Clementon Park.
Clementon Park kind of sucked.
No, I mean, like, recurring class trips would be the segment.
Okay.
Clementon Park's just one of them. Clementon Park doesn't exist for anybody outside of the tri-state area, but like recurring class trips. Remember when we went to New York and we couldn't get dinner and we fucked around and had to stop at Bob's Big Boy or something?
Yeah. And are you on the 8th grade trip?
Yeah.
I do remember that. That was...
I'm saying like that's the idea, is like class trips in general and like field trips in general and stuff like that.
Oh, by the way, I got something for your ass. So this little girl, this kid on Colton, Nick's, this kid on Chippy's baseball team, he has a little sister. I think she's 4 or 5. And she was talking about getting water ice the other day. And I was like, oh, what kind of water ice should I get? She was like, cherry. I said, all right, you get pretzels. And she was like, yeah. I said, take the pretzel and dip it in the fucking water ice. Did you do that? Were you a pretzel dipper into the water ice?
My aunt owns Pops, cuz of course I fucking did that.
Oh, God, we should go right now.
Yeah.
I need a gelati.
Yeah. Pops, pretzel rods, and even soft pretzels. We did both, but pretzel rods was way more of a thing.
No, I'd get the soft pretzel and break it and scoop it in.
Italianos. I fucked with lemon way more than cherry, though. I like the little bits of lemon. Lemon was my shit. Just like plain lemon is the cream of the crop for me. But yeah, like a root beer and vanilla gelato.
Oh, God, see, I'm a creature of habit. I'm friggin' cherry water ice and vanilla ice cream.
I mean, that's dope too. That's when I can enjoy cherry. I can't enjoy cherry water ice by itself. There's just something about it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'd rather go like lemon or mango.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a lemon guy.
Root beer, water ice, and vanilla ice cream was my dad's favorite.
Yeah, I'll definitely fucks with a chocolate if it has some chocolate.
I worked at Pops for a little bit one summer.
Oh God, you were probably sticking your whole hand in the.
Remember when I had the TV and couch in the garage with the pool table, like that era? I worked at Pops as a part-time job on nights and weekends, like around that time. I forget when it was, but I was there for a couple months.
Please tell me that you're following what's going on with this crazy broad from the Mormon show.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Bachelorette? You know what the Bachelorette is?
Yeah, I mean, there's like 40 different flavors of the Bachelorette, ain't there?
It's insane how many seasons there are. They're on season like friggin' 165, and it's only been around for 20 years. They do like 8 seasons. They do like 8 seasons a year. All right. So, all right, you're aware there's a show called Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, right?
No. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Is it like real or fake?
No, it's on Hulu. It's a reality show.
I mean, that's what I meant. Reality show, or is it just like a series?
It's a reality show. So they all got famous basically from this TikTok group called like Mom Talk. They would all do these TikToks together, these women in Utah.
They just all happen to be Mormons?
They just all happen to be Mormons, which Utah is a very, very big Mormon community. Don't ask me why. I don't know much about that religion at all. I just know that there's a lot of Mormon religion in that area. You got like BYU, for example, which is a Mormon university, is in Utah. You know, it's in Provo. So they all start to have this reality show, right? And they're all pretty attractive women. But the reason the reality show started was because the group was soft swinging with each other, with their husbands and wives. Swing? So you kiss.
You either swing or you don't.
You're kissing and you're just rubbing up against each other. Do you hear what I'm telling you? This is what goes on in the Mormon community. Do you hear what I'm telling you?
But aren't the Mormons allowed to have multiple wives?
So I think that's called fundamentalist. Like, I don't think that's the true religion of Mormonism. I think that's like the people who broke from the traditional sect, they call it. And they're like more kind of cultish.
Yeah, but if you're soft fucking swinging,
like
you broke off, didn't you?
You didn't break off. That's just cheating in the traditional Mormon church. They have one wife. God. They don't in the real Mormon church, like the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they don't practice polygamy. They practice monogamy.
Okay.
But like Big Love, is that what you're talking about? The show Big Love? Yeah, that's, don't you remember they had to like they were living on a compound and like it was a big deal, like that they had 3 wives and they could never act that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a fundamentalist, or like the people who do that, they believe they're in the true church, but they're not recognized, by like the federal government. Like,
yeah.
So they're soft swinging. It's a big scandal, and now
what does this have to do with the Real Housewives?
This has nothing to do with the Real Housewives. You mean The Bachelor?
The Bachelor, yeah.
Okay, so the one chick, Taylor Frankie Paul, right? They picked her to be.
That's a broad, Taylor Frankie Paul.
Yeah, that's her. That's a broad. They picked her
like
to
a
be
fucking pork roll brand.
They picked her to be the Bachelorette, right? So she's the Bachelorette.
Wait, you mean changing reality shows?
Yeah, so it's a crossover now. Everything's about a crossover now. They got reality stars on one show, reality stars on another.
This shit makes me want to throw up.
Okay, so we know already from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives that she was arrested for domestic battery on her boyfriend and basically pled guilty. And if everything, if she...
Wait, she beat the dude up?
She beat the dude up. There's a video of it. And she beat him up.
Oh my God, I got to pull this up.
Yeah, so she beats him up.
What's her name? Taylor Pork Roll?
Taylor Frank. Taylor Pork Roll! I love it! Oh my God, hashtag Taylor Pork Roll. That's her new nickname. That is phenomenal.
I'm typing in Taylor Pork Roll into YouTube like an asshole. What's her name?
Taylor Frankie Paul. So we know from the show that she pled guilty to domestic violence, but nobody really knew how serious it was, like how bad it was. Nobody saw any video of it, nothing. All right.
This is Taylor Frankie Paul violently attacks Dakota Mortensen.
Yes, correct.
Dakota's the man? No wonder why he got his ass kicked.
Dakota's the guy.
His fucking name's Dakota, cuz.
Hold on, you got to watch this. Pull it up.
Hold on, I am pulling it up. Hold on one second. God.
This isn't
fake,
even the
dog.
Dude, what'd you say?
That's fake. She's like putting his head in her box or something. What is going on over there?
Because she's already pled guilty to it, dude. This was in 2023.
You can barely see anything.
All right, well, you're going to see her throw a chair in a second that hits her 5-year-old kid. And then you'll hear the kid. Watch, you're going to hear the kid crying in a second.
No, I got it muted. If our voices don't play over the video, it gets taken down.
Yeah, she's literally out of her mind. Okay, so we already know that she got arrested in 2023. All of a sudden, it comes out that Secret Lives of Mormon Wives has paused filming season 4 because of another domestic violence allegation against the guy.
With Pork Roll?
With Pork Roll, with Taylor Pork Roll. Okay, so they stopped filming that. Then everybody's like, listen, this is the second time she's been, accused of this. How
many Mormon wives are there? Why can't they just film it out?
I think there's 6 or 7. Well, the other women, like in solidarity, didn't want to film anymore unless she got help or unless she was off the show. Then the video gets released. This video from 2023 just got released. And now ABC saw it and they pulled The Bachelor. They're not even running it.
First of all, the guy's name is Dakota. He just so happened to be filming the split second his wife started beating him.
No, he started filming it after she beat him because so women can't go, oh, he hit me first. And that's what happens. They tell you literally if they start hitting you to film it. It's a thing men are trained to do now.
I never heard no shit like
that. Dude, do you know my buddy who's in probation? Because girls go out there and are 17 years old and they go out and they get fake IDs and they get dressed like they're 25 and they bang adult men. And then the father of the 17-year-old girl gets upset and they go and try to have the guy arrested. It's statutory rape.
Yeah.
They got to put the guy on the lie detector test to be like, hey, at any point, did you believe this girl was a child? They have to do this stuff now because this shit happens all the time. Men have to protect themselves.
I don't think there's any amount of hitting my wife could do to me that would hurt me enough that I would need to film it.
Because if it keeps happening, for all we know, it's happened 25 times. And this is just the one time you got it on film.
I mean...
Now
she threw a chair at me. That would hurt. Yeah.
I want you to think about this. You're basically defending domestic violence.
No, I'm saying I'm saying how much of a pussy are you that you have to film it when your wife is hurting you?
So all of this goes down.
I could never imagine getting hurt by my wife.
All of this goes down. All right. And she's scratching you, beating you up, blah, blah, blah. And then the cops come. And because she has a red face from getting all worked up, she goes, officer, he hit me and beat, and now you're going to prison for assault.
I'm not talking about filming it or not filming it in terms of protecting yourself in the court of law. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just on some straight up being a pussy. My wife could not physically hurt me in a fight.
Oh, I don't think that was the point at all. I don't think that has anything to do with why he filmed it. I think he filmed it because she was going to say he beat me up first, which later in that video, she actually tries to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, any broad who's throwing a chair at her husband and son simultaneously while being filmed, you know she's a fucking wackadoo.
All right, but again, what if he doesn't have that on film and it was a neighbor who called the cops?
No. Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, he's got to do that. But I'm saying, but also, if my child gets hit with a chair, no matter who threw the chair, filming stops. You don't continue filming for another 8 minutes.
It wasn't her. It's not his child. It was her child.
Still, though, dog. You don't run to the aid of a fucking baby who got hit with a chair? Well, you keep filming?
The kid was 5.
It's all ridiculous.
Everything's
fake
ridiculous. It's not, dude. It's not fake.
This is my point. I'm not saying that she didn't do those things legitimately. I'm saying typical wife can't hurt the typical man that much that if you're continuing to film it through chairs getting thrown at you, through 5-year-olds in the room getting hit with a chair, if you continue to film, it couldn't have been that bad. Or it's fake.
I am. Because she just lost millions and millions and millions of dollars because of this video.
But that's because of all the fucking woke shit. And just because the news broke, she didn't legally lose that money.
What's the benefit in filming a video like this to be fake? What's the advantage?
You act like there's no life after you losing a brand deal. Come on. You don't think this world's going to get a podcast?
I don't know. She's not Kanye, dude. People don't fuck around with
if her and the husband if her and Dakota make up on national television, all's forgotten. They'll immediately become the next fucking Nick and Jessica. It's over.
Get the hell out of here.
I'm telling you. You act like the internet's got a fucking huge memory.
I want to reach to the screen and
these
grab
motherfuckers kiss and make up. She's going to come out of rehab. She's going to be a completely different person. They're going to get rid of all the fucking chairs in their house. They're going to get remarried or renew their vows, and it's all going to be over with.
What's she going to
big fucking... Listen to me. This is what I'm saying.
What is she going to anger rehab? Is that what you're saying?
You can't... with Jack Nicholson and fucking Adam Sandler. You can't have a phenomenal, televised, lucrative reunion if you don't have a big blow up. I guarantee I'm going out on a limb and saying within the next 3 years, I guarantee these motherfuckers renew their vows on national television and become the next big couple.
I'll take that bet. Listeners, please tell us
$100. C-note.
I'll bet you a C-note. I'll bet you a C-note.
What is it? This is it's 2:41 p.m. on Friday, March 27th.
All right. Who is this?
New podcast. Who this?
Yeah.
We bet $100.
All right. $100. All right. $100. 3-year clock is ticking. She's not going to do anything more. They're not getting back together. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You think everything is a conspiracy. You probably think somebody didn't walk on the moon.
What I just said is impossible.
It's not even close to plausible.
Get the fuck out of here. You're nuts, cuz.
Not even close.
You don't think there's any world.
Because what you're saying, cuz they already have the blow up. So all of these reality shows, I know from what my wife watches, The Real Housewives, they all have these reunions at the end where they all friggin' scream at each other. And
this is the Mormon version of fucking Jersey Shore. How many times did they fucking
they have it on the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives as well. They don't need to manipulate it. They don't need to plan it. They already have it.
Was Dakota on Mormon Wives?
I've never watched the show. I'm assuming if he was in her life.
How the fuck do you know the answer to any of the argument questions we're having right now if you never watched it?
Because I've been reading up on it the past couple of days.
You're fucking retarded. You don't even know if the husband was in the show. How much reading did you do?
I don't even know if he's the husband.
$100, cuz. That's all I gotta say.
I know if he's the husband. He might just be the boyfriend.
And the VIG starts today. Just interest. It's going to be $600 by the time the clock runs out. You're fucking crazy.
She's just a maniac. She's a goddamn maniac who beats, she's a friggin' male abuser. How many men are sitting in jail right now for domestic violence that it was probably the girl who did it?
I'm not saying don't capture enough footage to protect yourself. Once you get hit with a chair, that's enough. You don't have to film for another 9 minutes. Is there any scenario where a 5-year-old gets hit with a chair in the same room you're in and you don't run immediately over to him?
Maybe he did. If you actually watch the whole thing, like 4 seconds after the kid gets hit, now it cuts to when the cops are there. So it's not 8 more minutes of him just sitting there arguing with her. Like it shows her getting arrested. It shows the cops talking to her.
This bitch is nuts.
Yeah, she's out of her mind. And here's the best part. ABC.
So wait, if this happened in 23, why are we talking about it right now?
Because that's what I'm trying to tell you. In Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 4, they had to stop filming just now because apparently she beat him up again. recently. Hold on. So that's the second time. She's already on probation for the 2023 incident. Then it came out yesterday. There's now a third allegation. Her ex-husband was at the courthouse getting a restraining order against her. The same day, Dakota was at the courthouse getting a restraining order against her.
This is fake, dog.
No, dude, it
Why
just
would you
so
be
happened.
with her? Why would you be with her 3 years after she threw a fucking chair at your head and you got her arrested?
They have kids together now.
Get the fuck. That's also fake because we're all talking about it. You don't think they're going to have a fucking podcast after this? Some broad said Hawk 2 and made millions of dollars off of it.
They didn't need to have a podcast, dude. She was making millions of dollars off this reality show and going to make millions of dollars off The Bachelor. She had all these brand deals. I'm telling you, she already had a TikTok with 6.1 million followers.
Listen, when a guy gets hit with a chair by his wife and gets beat by his wife, and then enough to where he calls the cops and gets her arrested.
Was his wife at the time.
On what? Huh?
She was his girlfriend at the time.
Even worse.
Or no, maybe she was. Maybe they were never married. Maybe they were never married.
And stay with her for another 3 years.
Maybe they were never married. I don't know. I got to figure that out.
If they were married, my point is just people become stronger.
Because people do it all the time. You don't know about what people's psyche is like. You know what I mean? Like people have
That's fucking ridiculous.
Because some people think it's ridiculous for people to have anxiety. Some people think it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, how many women stay with guys how many women stay with guys who abuse them? How many? Hundreds of thousands. A man can't do it? That's what you're saying. It can't be. That's like saying a man can't. You're basically saying a man can't be abused.
No, I'm not saying a man. I'm not saying a man can't be abused. I'm saying the threshold for a man to stay after something like that is much, much lower than a woman staying.
I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is, if let's say there's hundreds of thousands of women who
it's
stay,
extremely much more difficult for a man to get hurt by his girlfriend than the opposite.
No, that's not the argument. The argument is there are men who are weak-minded who get abused by their significant other and don't leave.
That's crazy.
It's not a zero-sum game. It's not that there should be no man because mentally, they're stronger in this. No, there's men out there who mentally aren't. And dude, I agree with you. You're right. And that goes back to my argument where people go, man, I can't fathom getting worked up over something. I can't fathom getting depressed. I can't fathom, you know what I mean? It's the same exact thing.
There's a difference between making life decisions with another person and your mind controlling a portion of your body that you can't. There's a difference between choosing every day to stay with the girl.
But it could be subconsciously,
but no one would
right?
choose to be depressed if you could switch it off. There's a huge difference between...
Okay, are they depressed? Is it self-esteem issues? Do they not think they're going to get any better? I mean, you have no idea. We don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist. Yeah, no, I'm far from it.
What I'm saying is you can't put mental health related problems in the same category as your decision-making process to stay in an abusive relationship. Those are two completely different things.
A person who stays in that relationship obviously probably has some mental health issues.
But I'm saying it's much more difficult to...
Yes, you have people who have severe fears of being alone. Severe. They fear that more than dying.
Yeah, but you could find someone else that doesn't beat you.
Again, their brain doesn't work that way.
I understand, but I'm saying you have much, much less control over getting a grasp of mental health issues than you do of leaving an abusive relationship.
I'm not saying you don't, but what I'm saying is
you can't they may
already have mental health issues, because if they already have mental health issues and they found somebody who abuses them, all right. If the mental health issue is they're scared to death to be alone, they have major anxiety to be alone. If they're alone, they get severely depressed. They're going to stay in that relationship.
Maybe he's like, what's Pig Vomit's character's name in Billions? Chuck
Rhodes.
Maybe he's like Chuck. Maybe he's like Chuck Rhodes. Maybe he likes that shit.
That doesn't look like S&M to me. That looks like just getting my ass kicked. I mean, I don't know about you, but there's times where Chuck gets the cigarette burn out on him and he's like, I didn't hear him purring. I didn't hear. Dakota wasn't purring like a kitten.
We don't know. His brajol might have been hard when he got hit with the chair.
Maybe he was. I agree that 95% of men, right, would be like, what the hell are you doing? Beating me up. I'm leaving. But you got to concede there's a 5% chance there's some men out there who don't leave that situation.
I guess, but I'm saying like when you zoom out and look at all of this stuff together, you didn't see any of this odd behavior from this broad for 4 fucking years on the first reality show.
Well,
this is all a complete shock to the world that she's like this.
That's what we're saying. That's what ABC said. Oh, we didn't know anything about all this stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, motherfuckers, you put her on because it was controversial.
I'm not saying that Dakota Fanning and and Taylor Porkroll were the ones who created this fake scenario. I'm saying this all seems quite unbelievable when you zoom out. No one saw any of this behavior for the first 4 years on Mormon Wives.
Oh, dude, no. She's a complete maniac. She's always.
The guy's name is Dakota. He doesn't put the camera down when the baby gets hit with the chair. He lets this footage get released. And then it happens again 3 years later.
Yeah, I think you're turning into like one of these QAnon people with these conspiracy theories.
Oh, here you go, QAnon.
I'm always going to go back to what is the benefit? They've lost everything. I mean, literally, she's probably hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in brand deals now. They're done. They're done with her. Like, there's no benefit to it.
Kanye lost tons of brand deals. He's still a billionaire.
There's no.